As you remember always, and let it be known.
They are herbivores. They don't eat other animal flesh or blood. They eat from plants who are peaceful. Here's what Noon says about eating vegetation.
As you remember always, and let it be known.
Bumblebees also do not attack other animals unless someone is trying to cause harm to them or their nest. Here is what Noon says about self-defense.
As you remember always, and let it be known.
Bumblebees look for nectar for up to 18 hours a day. Now let's define the word nectar. If we look at the compound words neck meaning death and tear meaning overcoming, cross over, pass through, overcome, you can see that the nectar is significant to bumblebees, mainly queens. Some of them do overcome death because they survive long enough to not be eaten or killed to hibernate and start a new colony the following summer. They need the nectar to replenish the energy they lose during hibernation. Bumblebees must stay at a body temperature of 86 degrees Fahrenheit in order to fly, as well as their nest. When the summer approaches an end, the male drone bees mate with the future queen bees, then they die of exhaustion. Some of the queens survive if they don't get eaten or hurt and find a hibernation spot quick enough before she gets too weak due to dropping of temperature and lack of nectar and pollen, and she dies. She will hibernate for up to 9 months. There is no death in the top half, Noopooh, section of the SMAT circle of order, but the cycle of the bumblebee is similar to those of the pygmy gods and goddesses. When it comes to exhaustion and rejuvenation, there are some similarities. Here is how.
As you remember always, and let it be known.
Now let's look at the SMAT circle of order. pygmy gods start being born again during the summer cycle in nature. They have intercourse and create the Ethiopian race, and then they die off in the winter section. Just like the queen bees start creating their colony in the summer season, and their colony, except most queens, die off while the queens get pregnant and go into hibernation in the winter. Bumblebees also do not use sex unless it is used for reproduction uses. The queen's job is to reproduce, keep the nest clean, and nurture the offspring. She does all the work in formulating the colony, but once her worker bees are born, she no longer makes any trips outside of the hive, collecting pollen and nectar. She leaves that for her worker bees. Here's what Noon says about sex.
As you remember always, and let it be known.
Pygmy gods and goddesses in the top half work on the earth to undo the harm caused on the earth during the evolutionary cycle. Bumblebees are hard-working pollinators. They are responsible for the growth of the fruits and vegetables and other forms of vegetation that humans consume daily. The top half of the smat is also called the plant half. Bumblebees are so similar to the original pygmy gods and goddesses. They are symbolic of the pygmies in the bottom half instead of the top because animals don't exist in the top half. Even if you look at the size of the bumblebees, they are very small in size, and the pygmies are also small in size compared to humans of today and the evolutionary half. They are both small but work hard and are growers on the earth. In Egypt, the bee is supposed to represent Lower Egypt. The plant standing next to it in the image is called the sedge, and it represents Upper Egypt, which in factuality shows that the Egyptians knew about the pygmies and the smat circle of order. As previously shown, the top half represents the plant half on the smat circle and the bottom is animals. They knew the plant was symbolic for the top half and the bee was symbolic for the bottom, Noopooh and Queepoo.
As you remember always, and let it be known.
When you look at the shape of the nests of the bees, they have these little spherical structures that hold nectar or eggs. The pygmy gods were born from eggs in the Nile/Nine River in equatorial Africa.
As you remember always, and let it be known.
Bumblebees also sun energized. They become weak and cannot fly if their bodies and nests don't maintain a temperature of 86 degrees Fahrenheit. The hot sun allows them to fly anywhere they need to go for hours nonstop. Guess who can do this but on the top half of almighty nature? Let's take a look.
As you remember always, and let it be known.
Bees also have a positive electric charge. This is important because when bees are searching for nectar and pollen, the negatively charged flower pollen will stick to the bee's hair like a magnet. This is also important because after a bee has touched the plant, the charge of the plant lowers for a few seconds, so if another bee tries to drink from it, it would feel a low charge indicating that another bee was previously dead, saving the bee from wasting its time drinking from it and deciding to go elsewhere. The bee is also referred to as bombus, meaning a deep hollow sound, hum, or buzz. The buzzing of the bumblebee is also responsible for helping release pollen into the flower due to the bee's vibrations, which means more pollen to feed the larvae in the nest, and some gets deposited into the next flower the bee visits, resulting in pollination. Created a children's toy called the Bumblebee amusement device between 1959 and 1961, before Noopooh made itself known to him in 1962. Further down the line, he had a novelty store called the Bumblebee. This is clear that he was indeed intelligent. This toy was spun and it made the sound of a bumblebee. Here is the patent and design. Before I do that, I'd like to emphasize that Afrohunu took time out to create this invention the same way he put effort into his books. So please don't try to take credit for his creations and works, Moon Rockians.
No.
Now here is his creation.
As you remember always, and let it be known. As you remember always, and let it be known.